Welcome to today's deep dive. We're diving into coping mechanisms,
Hmm.
when life gets messy and you just need a minute
Absolutely, yeah.
or maybe a whole weekend to sort of process everything. This piece we're looking at today, it really struck a chord with me,
Yeah.
especially the idea that sometimes like disappearing for a bit. And I don't mean literally,
Right.
but just creating some healthy space for yourself can actually be like the kindest thing.
Yeah, no,
Have
I
you ever felt that way?
wholly. And you know, the source even mentions this idea that we often isolate ourselves when we're struggling because we're so worried about being a burden on other people.
Oh, 100%.
Like opening up would be pointless
Yeah.
or even worse, like we're dumping our problems onto someone else.
Oh, the burden belief, right. It's so real. It's
Yeah.
like everybody else has their own stuff.
Hmm.
Who am I to kind of add to the chaos?
Exactly. And this is where the piece gets really, really interesting to me. It talks about how isolation can actually be a form of self-kindness.
Hmm. Right.
There's this quote. Hold on, let me pull it up here. Enjoy the little things within your own pace.
I like that.
It's about giving yourself permission to step back from all the expectations the world's putting on you and just reconnect with yourself.
Yeah. So instead of feeling obligated to like paste on that smile and pretend everything's
Yeah,
fine.
the smile mask?
Exactly. This is like embracing the raw, authentic, maybe not so pretty emotions.
Right. And the author's really clear, that it's okay to be sad, to be angry, to
Mhm.
be whatever you're feeling. That's part of being human.
It's funny you should say that. I was at this networking event the other day, and it was one of those things, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be all smiles and confidence.
Right.
I had just gotten some difficult news. I won't bore you with the details, but
Yeah.
And I'm standing there making small talk, and I just felt like such a fraud.
Yeah.
So common though, right? We've all been there. And the source even mentions how suppressing those feelings, it doesn't actually make them go away.
No, not at all. In
Yeah.
fact, I think it just makes them louder. This piece makes it's a small sentence, but it's powerful. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength.
It is.
I don't know, it's like a mic drop moment in the middle of this article.
It is, and it actually goes deeper than that. The source reframes it as being strong enough to acknowledge your emotions. This isn't about wallowing, right? It's about acknowledging your feelings, processing them, so that you can actually move forward.
That's resilience right there.
There you go.
It reminds me of, have you ever heard that analogy of like riding a wave? You don't try to stop the wave,
Right.
you learn to surf it.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
And, speaking of moving forward, the source gives this really reassuring message.
Eh,
It says, life doesn't end when you lose yourself for a little while, and you can always come back again.
It's true. And I think it's easy to forget that when you're in it.
Those tough times, they are temporary. It's like a storm, right? It feels intense. It might even feel scary while it's happening. But the sun always comes out again, eventually.
It does, it does. And that's what this all comes back to. Self-compassion, giving ourselves permission to feel our emotions, even the icky ones, the tough ones. It's a vital part of resilience.
I love that. So for anyone listening, if you take away one thing from this deep dive, let it be this.
Yeah,
Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is just let yourself have a bad day.
absolutely.
It gives you that space to process and then eventually move forward. Something to think about, right? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.